Hello everyone, welcome to the first and hopefully a long-standing tradition of what I like to refer to as 10 minutes or more, where I, your humble host, Trae Brooks, reviews various people for 10 minutes or more if they're interesting to me. So that's the whole premise. And also any apologies to if this sounds kind of janky, if it sounds a little jank, a little jank tank. Like I said, it's the first of many, so hopefully I'll get more, comfortable as time goes on. But with me today is my first ever guest. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Joseph Padilla. I'm 23 years old and I like to draw sometimes.
Perfect. Firstly, how are you doing today, Joe? Or tonight, I guess you should say.
I'm wondering, are you going to hand me the microphone or?
Joe, you're perfect if you just want to. You're fine.
All right.
Yeah, so Trae, if you want to just hold on.
Okay, so that's the hosting. Got it. Okay, so how am I doing tonight? I'm doing fantastic. I'm hanging out with friends. I feel alive, like I'm doing things with my life. I'm drawing again, and I feel like this is a very good way to have spent my night, spent my day, and in a good mood. My brain is fried because of my tiredness, because I've been up for a while, but it's nothing I haven't been through before, so not a big deal.
How long have you been up for?
Oh, well, I woke up around, 7? Yeah, 6:56. And I feel like, just by habit, when I say that, someone is going to be like, oh man, I got up at 4 a.m. and I had to go to my construction job to do your freaking pussyfoot. And I'm like, alright. What? Here's your trophy, guy. Does that ever happen to you?
Well, like what? Like if people...
Yeah, like you say how tired you are and then people brag how they got even less sleep than you did.
Yeah, sometimes there'll be people be like, oh, that's nothing, I got 30 minutes of sleep.
Exactly.
Dog, I don't know if that's something that you should sort of compliment, or not compliment, but just
brag on.
Yeah, brag about, because I don't feel good when I don't get sleep. It's not something where I'm just oh yeah, I feel fantastic after after only getting 2 hours of sleep and I'm running off of my 5th cup of coffee. It's no, I feel like I want to crash and burn.
That's bad.
This is
right
yeah,
there.
this is not good. This is not something to be proud of. But if you don't mind me asking, why? Are you a morning person, or is that usually around the time you get up, or do you get up later?
Well, I prefer mornings, and I prefer to go to sleep early.
Yeah.
And also, an external factor that forces me to bed early is my cat is very needy with affection, and he'll rub around my nightstand, and he'll coo, and he'll look at me and rub on my leg, and I'll pick him up, and he'll be purring, and then he'll be fine. But if he's not doing that, he'll march around the house meowing, complaining he's not getting no attention or no treats or nothing. And then he knows when I'm laying down on the bed because he'll see me there and he'll just nest himself on my torso. And then at that point, I just lay there until I fall asleep. And so that's what persuades me to go to sleep early. Also, right around 9 o'clock, I feel that tiredness is I should probably pack it in. But then, these days, it's but I gotta keep drawing or something. I'm at a point where I get up at 7 consistently enough. I'll just wake up at that time. And so going to bed a little later ain't that much of a problem these days. Although at this point, it's pushing 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get home pretty late.
Yeah, we're kind of pushing it. It's pretty.
It's gonna be a very interesting day.
Late hours,
the rest of this Sunday.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but in my perfect world, early to bed, early to rise for me.
That makes sense. Yeah. For me, it's it's always been kind of a struggle to kind of get consistent night's sleep. But there'll be times where it's I sleep perfect. I just I may go to bed a little latish, but it's like I get up like around a time that like I'm cool with, like around like 7 or 8 or something like that, and it's just like, all right, I'm good. Like I can kind of go about my day. But lately I've just been having. I think my biggest issue is just like kind of getting up out of bed, because sometimes like I'll just.
That's the hardest thing, dude.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll wake up early in the morning and I'm just like, all right, let me go ahead and get started my day, but then I'm just like, let me kind of just like
lay in bed.
Yeah, or like not even lay in bed, but let me just like kind of not like jump up, but just like let me kind of ease my way out of bed, and then I end up like sleeping for like another 4 or 5 hours. Like I don't know if it has anything to do with like COVID or just like my sleep is just generally
shitload of factors.
Off. Yeah, it's like a lot. So yeah. But just to kind of switch gears a little bit, like obviously, or maybe not obviously to our viewers, but like we were in the same class, Harvard Art School, just like
graduating class.
Yeah, same graduating class. And I kind of just wanted to ask, like, and I know this is kind of a big question, obviously, but it's like, how's I guess life after graduation? Like, how are you kind of, amongst all the craziness that's going on right now? Like, how have you been kind of adjusting with like being a quote unquote like professional artist in like these trying times?
I have a lot to say about this.
Oh, give it to me. Yeah.
Okay, so if one of my professors were to see my drawing habits as of late, or my art making habits.
Oh, just to like, what did you major in?
I was an illustration major.
Illustration. Okay.
So if they were to see those habits, they'd be like, Joe, you're not drawing anything. Okay, here's what you gotta do. You gotta make a schedule. You gotta decide what you're gonna draw, and like what career path you're gonna go into, and you gotta decide what's your niche gonna be. Those kinds of things. Like focusing on like the career aspect, because that's a lot of the advice I heard in school. But to me, worrying about that stuff is like looking at a busted car, talking about how you want to improve the paint job when the engine is busted. And I feel like for a long time my engine has been busted, where the things keeping me from being as effective as I can be run a lot deeper than just not knowing what I want to do or doing what I want to do. The problem has been not wanting to do much. It felt like I was at a dinner table without an appetite, with a menu in front of me, asked, what do I want? And I said, I don't know, I ain't hungry. And that, coupled with the memory of everything I used to do in school, that just rubbed salt in the wound, because I would look at my past self, I would remember how hard I worked, and I would be like, well, surely I'm not a bum, because if I was, I would not have accomplished everything I did in school. Jade even agrees. I kicked ass in school. Like, maybe it sounds like I'm bragging, but like I helped out a homeless shelter. I did the senior video twice. I pretty much did a lot of the like advertising and promoting for the senior show myself. I did a lot for like, tag sales for the senior show. I was in sculpture club for a while. I was a TA, and like I had all my coursework and I was a beast at it. And so like I figured, hey, if I can bring this kick-assery into my post-grad life, I'll be in the clear. Maybe that would have been true, but it didn't happen. Now, you might want to figure out, well, why hasn't it happened? And of course, a big factor is, well, the environment is not the same. You do not have the same artists, the same professors, the same facilities, the same structure, and just the same hardcore, like, physical environment. Your desk is in the same room that your bed is in, because you sleep there all the time. So those things have been screwing with me. And with that lack of structure and guidance, it's a lot easier to question every decision you make, because things are not going how you had predicted.
Sure.
So with all of those things in mind, also the fact that you're working a job to like just sustain your student loans for several hours of most of your day, you're kind of discouraged from drawing from how tired you are. So then a few days like that just pass by, they're the same, and then you draw less and less, and you start to see yourself less as the art student that was kicking all that ass, and more of the normal, regular people that have been around living their lives while you were in school, and you start to realize, well, at least this is how it felt for me, everything in school was kind of, it's like it was made out of plastic. It wasn't real, or at least it doesn't feel as real now as it did back then, because I'm not living it every day.
And you had less distractions too, where it's just like
Exactly.
there was more of a focus on,
Right.
okay, you gotta get this done for Wednesday's crit, or you gotta do this, do that, and it's just like
Exactly.
you had more time to kind of get these assignments and these things done,
And,
versus like
yeah.
when you're out of school, it's like you have, you know, you kind of have the weight of the world on you, where it's like you've officially more so than like when you graduate high school, where it's like it really does feel like now you're an adult where you can kind of just do whatever you want, and like as scary as that is, there's also like a freedom to it. But I think a lot of it, I guess the issue is that for all of us that are kind of just coming out of school, it's like trying to like navigate that and just like figuring out like, okay, what's best for me kind of thing.
So,
we're all going through it.
I've been wrestling with this for a long time. And so I've been trying to like, okay, how do I fix this? Because back then I wanted to draw, I knew what was up, but now that's not the case anymore. So I've been looking into like mindfulness, self-awareness, psychology, that kind of thing. And
do you meditate?
Well, I started doing it again. Like sometimes I'll meditate on and off here and there. So basically, I've been learning about like, nature versus nurture, like evolutionary psychology, and just looking more at your feelings, noticing when you're feeling what, why you have those feelings, how and why you react to the feelings you have, and why you feel that way about your feelings. Like, say if I feel like crying, I'll get angry at myself about it. Why am I angry at myself about it? It's because these things happened in my past. So shit like that. And then, okay, well, how did I used to feel when I was drawing? Well, I felt mostly positive things because I had, like you said, a clearer structure, and just my day was solely around me drawing those things. Like as you said, less distractions. And it wasn't as heavy, it wasn't as real world, where back then I drew things for the crit wall, but for a long time after graduation, when I drew something, I'm like, how is someone gonna pay for this, right? So I feel like I've come across a solution to these problems in one way by mindfulness, knowing how I react and why, and also letting go. And this is gonna sound like opposite of what you're supposed to do, but it works for me, and even if it's detrimental, like it's freeing me spiritually, like mentally and emotionally. Like I have to let go about the idea of like making money off of it, because if I have that stick up my ass, I won't be able to make anything at all. Right. So it's either I have all this pressure and I'm lost and I don't know where to go and I don't have any faith in any decision I make because I'm too focused on the dollar, or I go back to basics where I came from and like just drawing for the fun of it. And actually last night, or like the night before that, no, I think it was last night, I was reading this book that my mom got me when I first got interested in art, when I first got serious in it. She was like, oh, I'm gonna get him some books on animation. And there was this one by this guy named Seamus Culhane. He worked on Donald Duck, Betty Boop, and Popeye. And he said he went through periods where he would draw like a champion and things would just come out effortlessly and they were really good. Also, he had days where like the skill just wasn't there and he's like, what the hell is going on? Why can't I control this? Why is this happening to other artists? Why don't they know what to do? And then so he studied it. He studied psychology and like how drawing works and behavior. And so he figured out what to do. And this is actually, I read this book in high school, and I used to do this. And like, I kind of lost touch with it, and I started doing it again. But basically, his solution was to just switch your brain off, let your hand take control, draw as fast as possible, like a little character in all these poses, over and over. Don't bother with an eraser. If you make a mistake, just draw the next one. And if you run out of space, get rid of your paper, get the next sheet of paper. For an hour a day. So he had like other guys do this. They couldn't draw. Inside of 3 months, they were drawing like human photocopy machines. So, and then I just felt good reading that, because it's like, I'm not drawing this so I can have a career. Granted, that'd be nice, but right now I can't focus on that. Again, I can't focus on the paint job when my engine's still busted, and that's what I'm fixing. I also feel like this is important for me to talk about. I felt like a has-been for a long time, and in a way I still do. Like, I felt like Rocky after he had passed his prime. I felt like a car that couldn't really race as well as it used to. I feel like a hero that got old and he can't really save the day anymore. And
Washed up.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm 23 years old. Like, why do I feel like this? This is stupid. And like, it just. And I thought about, oh well, wouldn't it be cool to visit the school? Because I love visiting the school so much.
Sure, yes.
And then it's like, but a part of me is like, I can't show my face over there because they're gonna ask me what I've been up to, and I don't have dick to show for it. And not because they taught me wrong. It's just I feel like I've dropped the ball out of laziness. So what I'm trying to do is just get it back. Because you know how when people that have a lot of coursework in the school and they get stressed about it and they say, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Now, granted, that is stressful to them. I'm not putting any of that down. I'm just saying, for me personally, I didn't go through that because, like, I looked forward to all of it. I looked forward to proving myself. But that was mostly centered around other people. I wanted my peers to like praise me. And this sounds narcissistic as fuck, but I'm at least honest enough to own up to that.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I wanted...
I'll say, hopefully we didn't lose any people, viewers listening, but...
Right.
I think they can appreciate the transparency.
I got no reason to lie to people.
Sure, yeah.
And like,
Yeah, of
my
course.
professors, I respected them like they were demigods, right? And I wanted to be like, your time is not wasted on teaching me. I was hanging on their every word, and like, you know, my brother had went to this school, and that's a huge part of the reason I decided to go there. And I'm like, holy shit, like, if he was great and he went here, and I'm going here, and people are like, you know, saying that I'm great, I have to live up to that. And I did that every day. That was the express reason of me driving there. And just doing what I did best, of course I was gonna feel good about it. But then again, as all of that went away, and like for a while I didn't think about all those other factors. I was just thinking about like me, what's wrong with me, like how am I falling short? And like just, I wasn't trying to, but like in effect I was just beating myself up. And like, yeah, self-criticism is good. But when that's all you do and you didn't do shit, then you're not gonna get anywhere. That's what, you know, I was explaining to Jordan earlier. Like, if you're gonna do something consistently, it can't be painful. Because if it causes you pain, you're not gonna want to do it the next day. If you exercise too hard and your bones are sore, you're not gonna go out there as eagerly. But if you feel like $1 million because you exercised and slept well, hell yeah, you're gonna do it again. So, that thing I just mentioned to you, like rapid sketching, like, I don't have to show it to anybody. Like, it's not in a portfolio. It's just me having fun drawing. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Like, I'm a big fucking double-digit IQ lummox that's not that good at thinking anyway. So, like, that's an advantage. And I feel like I've been learning how to turn weaknesses into advantages, right? Like, habit. Like, if I'm not that good at fighting habits, and I just kind of go after, like, what I feel like doing, then that's all a habit is. So as long as I can, like, wean off the bad ones, but still have a good one that I can do that isn't painful, then, you know, I'm in the money. like exercising in the morning. Now, I don't go fucking athletic level, fucking Joe Rogan level, like feats of strength.
Yeah.
Just 2 laps. 2 pathetic little laps. But you know what they do? They like, every morning, I get like a little adrenaline boost where like it's the end of the last lap and I just zoom by. And I feel all the endorphins and like I feel the sweat and I'm like, okay, I kind of feel like a superhero again now.
Yeah, not to mention it's that itself is like a form of structure.
Yeah.
Like it's a routine where it's like you're slowly kind of going back into like something that you can kind of latch onto, and it's like it gives you this sense of clarity where it's like, okay, let me just just lap for like, or just run these laps for like, like every day for however long, like 2 laps or whatever, and then by doing that, being more consistent, like not even just like going ham and just like I gotta like run, I gotta like beat Usain Bolt, like sprint my way across the finish line, but just something where it's like, 1, it keeps you active, and 2, it's like it also, like I said, just like it gives you like that sense of clarity and that sense of structure where it's like, and I'm kind of the same way too, where it's like anytime I'm kind of jogging or like I'm exercising, like I kind of get that sense of like a lot of my ideas kind of just like or inspiration comes from just doing something that's like just like doing something physical, or like doing something that like I'm not really I'm not like thinking about like art making, but then all of a sudden it's like I have like this like light bulb moment every now and again where I'm just like, oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool, and then I try to get in the habit now of like kind of writing down ideas, or just like sketching them out so that way I don't forget them later on. But yeah, just like, but I think that is like a form of, if you can give yourself structure and something like whatever that is, like it was kind of interesting you brought up first brought up like the meditation, like the sort of psychology, and then also like bringing up sort of like drawing without thinking, like that to me is like that kind of like streamlines, or like that could be like a way of streamlining that, where it's like you're drawing, like you're committing yourself to like drawing every day, or every for like 30 minutes or hour or whatever, but then you're also, there isn't like this pressure where it's like I have to make something, or I have to make something good. It's just like I'm just the mere action
of making shit,
of just doing something, or just like making something, and then not having, or just not like stressing about it. I think that would actually be a lot more beneficial. Just to like, because like a lot of it, that's actually something Kat Velko says a lot, where it's just like, just keep making work, like just consist, bring up consistency, but just like making work, because like a lot of the times that's kind of just that kind of brings out certain things, or that kind of keeps you going. Even just like work that like has nothing to do with your portfolio, or nothing to do with like anything, but just like
I think a lot of it has to do with feelings. People really ignore that, because I think there's this idea of, if you want to be like a mature working adult, you gotta like leave your feelings behind. But like, I've heard it explained, I think it was Alan Watts, I could be wrong, where your brain, instead of like it's your left brain and your right brain kind of fighting each other, and like your left brain has to dominate, it's more like the relationship between an elephant and the man on top of the elephant guiding it. Elephant is your feelings, and elephants are strong, and they could pretty much power through anything. If they're walking and you're next to them, you feel the ground shake when their foot goes next to you. But if they get under control, it could get real bad real fast. But the guy on top is much weaker, but he knows what to do on top of the elephant to keep it under control and calm, and when to make it charge when necessary. So like, your logic and all that is the man on top, and like your power is the feelings. And the more positive you feel about something, the better you're gonna do at it. And so like, if I asked you, hey Trae, I want you to like rub a cheese grater on your bare skin for 25 minutes straight, you're probably gonna feel shitty about it if you actually do it. So then if you have to do it again, you would be like rub it in the same spot. I don't know, that felt pretty shitty. But if I asked you, it's like, hey, go pick up that wad of $100 bills over there, you'd be like, that would be awesome. And like, sure, yeah, logically, you could go through that. It's like, oh man, like the cheese grater, you might go through a lot of blood loss. But like, that's not why you're making that decision. You're making this like, fuck no, that's gonna hurt. You're feeling like fear and avoidance. But like, if I tell you to go pick up the money, you're like, that's happiness. It's the same in drawing. So like, if I'm trying to draw something, and I have a lot writing on the drawing, like my future, my career, the last 4 years not going to waste, everything my parents were thinking about, all my expectations, all my teachers' expectations, all led up to this fucking drawing, then it's like it's like a spiritual cheese grater on your skin. But if it's just for me, I feel like I'm taking it back from when I used to draw for fun. Because I have sketchbooks from like those days. And like, I'll look back to them and I just got tired of like feeling like, those were the days. Like some old athlete. Again, like I'm too young for that. Yeah.
I think it's important to like have like a passion that kind of fuels your main passion. Like something that like you enjoy doing that like makes you money, to like fuel like what really kind of drives your soul.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've been kind of trying to do myself, where it's just like, because I know for me it's like I hate the idea of like living as a studio, or yeah, just like living as a studio artist. I mean, on one level it's like I don't think I would necessarily hate it, but I just think there's more to that for me. Where I feel like there's more I could be doing than just being a studio artist, because I feel like that's kind of lame. You know, it's just like
define studio artist.
Where it's just like you know.
What exactly is that?
Where it's just like you have like a studio and you just make work that you sell or like put into gallery shows and like it makes money. It's just like you have a gallery representation and stuff like that. Where it's just like on paper it sounds nice.
Sounds bomb to me.
Sounds very great.
Bomb to me.
But I don't know. It's just like I gave it a lot of thought, and it's just like I don't know if like it was something that would kind of fulfill me, at least like not long term. Because for me it's just I know that there's always something else I want to do.
Yeah.
At least like, you know, whether it's related to the arts or not, it's just like
what? Be a salmon fisher?
I mean, that sounds interesting. I don't know. Might be a new passion.
Some pretty good salmon in there.
Yeah.
The Atlantic.
Yeah. There's some big boys there too. Some huge, like, you know how big those things get?
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck.
I had a salmon sashimi earlier today.
How was that? What is a salmon sashimi?
So basically, it's just a cut of raw salmon.
Okay.
And then you just pick it up with chopsticks and eat it.
Okay.
The texture was very interesting. Like it was very soft.
Describe it to our audience. Can you ASMR it?
I'm not sure how
I
I
really close
do
to the
that.
mic.
Yeah, just get like really up to the mic.
The thing is, I can actually
I'm gonna
hear.
pass on
Okay,
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured I'd just give you that option. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it was like it was
Spare
very
viewers.
soft and tender. Very soft and tender.
Okay.
I ate a big quantity of food today. But yeah, I'll metabolize it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So got any more questions, Mr. Interviewer Man?
You guys are rocking a bounce across 30 minutes.
Oh wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was a long time.
All right.
I think just to kind of like close it off, because I can't really think of anything else to ask. I think just to like kind of give you a little bit of peace of mind. As you said, you're only 23, so it's not the end, even though it may feel like it, especially, you know, how things are going in America right now and just the world in general. You know, whatever. But I kind of don't really look at it like that. But yeah, and I think just the institution can kind of do that to you, where it's just like it makes you feel like, because they make it feel like everything's riding on this one moment.
Yeah.
And that's not how life goes, I don't think. I think like it's okay to kind of do different shit and then still have the one thing that drives you. I think it's just a matter of I don't know, kind of just I think a lot of it's just having faith, trying to keep the faith, and just like not kind of let the world beat you down too much. I feel like I haven't gotten cynical yet. I mean, it's getting there, but I still, I don't know. I think just because like I'm weirdly an optimist, and it's nice, but at the same time I kind of hate it about myself, to be honest. But I still always have that conviction of like it's gonna be okay. I think as long as like you kind of just keep going, like it definitely can't get worse, or at least I hope it won't get worse. But I don't know. I'm really shitty at like kind of cheering people up. So enjoy this because it's about as best as I can make it sound. But yeah, so I'd say like I think what you're doing is pretty interesting. Kind of like this whole. I was really digging like the meditation thing and just like sort of like the mindfulness. I think maybe like exploring more of that and just like maybe it can come out in your work and it kind of breathes new life into like what you're doing. It can kind of give you that rush and just I would say just keep kind of playing with it or just keep playing around and see what it gets you.
Yeah.
But so like just to kind of because believe me, I definitely understand. It's like both graduated at the same time, so it's like we're both in the same lane. So it's like obviously it's like I get it, but at the same time it's like I don't know. I think I just have this thing where it's like it's gonna work out. I just think I don't know. It always does, but like I said, it's just the optimist in me speaking. But hopefully that kind of helps a little bit. But yeah.
Thank you.
But I think we're gonna wrap it up here. It's getting pretty late. Thank you, Joe, for your time.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, for real. All right, everyone. I think we're gonna cut off here. So this has been Joe. This is Trae. Yeah. You all right? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I think I gotta go to sleep or something.
Yeah, it's getting late. So thank you all for watching. This has been 10 minutes or more. Hope you have a good evening. We hope you stay safe. And we'll see you at the next one. Thank you.